And welcome back to our second segment. We're switching gears a little, and we have with us in studio two judges from the KTV, the
Not
remix.
your type of judges.
Not my type of judges,
yeah.
but just as good. We have with us Jenny Lovell, who's a musician and well-known singer as well.
Singer.
Yes,
not,
yes.
Not singer, singer.
Singer. And Chris Bradshaw. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So, I want to look back a little before we move forward.
Oh dear.
What was the principal moment? What was one of the most memorable moments that you had from last season? Never ready for that one day. Good or bad?
I think they were worried you were going way in. I didn't realize it was just last year.
How about if I tell you one of my most memorable moments was not in the actual hall or in the actual performance.
Excellent.
I got poked by an old lady outside of the building. Said, "You that one teeth in the judge." I poked in my belly. I had to laugh. That was the most memorable moment for me. As I was coming out of the door of the bliss.
People take that stuff seriously.
Be grateful it's your belly and not your tires.
But it made me laugh. I mean, at least it made me laugh.
And
that
for you,
night.
Jenny?
From last year, the most memorable for me was not from last year. It was the year when we came out and one of the judges, they took all 4 of her tires, including the rims, off of her car because they were so upset that the person they wanted to win hadn't won. And that is, for me, that was memorable in a negative kind of way. But I mean, that's how seriously people
Take this,
take losing.
Yeah.
And so it's one of the things I hope we talk about today is the good sportsmanship,
Definitely.
you know. But last year, most memorable, I think was in the audition when Victoria came and she was like my first person that came in that performed. She sang, she danced, and for me that was like very memorable.
Wow. And she won the
And she
competition.
won, yes.
So does that mean that when you got goosebumps with this auditions around, you said, maybe this will be the one to make it to the end?
And they give me goosebumps.
Yeah. But, you know, I like Kevin's idea of stepping back. You know, as I said, as you clarified, you're a singer and you are a musician. And we know that a lot of people in the music industry tend to say karaoke is not music and karaoke is not performing. We've heard it. But either way, you both decided with your esteemed careers to participate in this show. What was that? What prompted you to do it?
I'm a music teacher also, and one of my main aims is to get people to perform better. You know, as students, I always tell my students, I want you to perform better than I perform, and become better than I am. And so I thought it was an opportunity for me to help someone along the way, because we give comments along the way that are supposed to be helpful.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that this will help people to, you know, improve their performances.
Yeah.
And for me also, I'm a teacher, I'm a lecturer, and for me it's also very important to have people grow. And we see them grow over the weeks.
Yeah.
If they listen.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like, as a lay person who can't sing a lick,
Did
Really?
you claim you were a choir or somebody?
in the shower, that's
Oh.
different. That's a different.
Keep it there.
Yeah. But, you know, you think about karaoke, and karaoke is 10% to my mind in terms of what we see in the bars when you're taking a couple drinks. It's 10% voice and 90% just energy and charisma and fun. How do you balance between when you have somebody who comes in who definitely has the talent, is an awesome singer, and you balance that between somebody who just comes there and is just a character, somebody who's just there of a bunch of fun, a crowd favorite? How do you balance it to being a professional with that? I think it's, I forget what you call the term when you can hear the mistakes of something in music, but how do you balance it between your professional and just that somebody just having fun.
Well, hopefully, one of the things that we strive for is to encourage them or give them the information that they need to get better at both areas. So
Yeah.
if you have the one that comes in who is a great performer but not a great singer, you try to focus on getting that person to sing better, to dig into the problems that they might have
Yeah.
and make them aware of these problems and how to change these.
Yeah.
Because then you have the person who comes in who can sing, but they just stand there.
Yes, stiff.
Yeah, and so we have to
Yeah.
encourage them to bring that out. And I remember like last time we had one person who it was almost until the second to the last show
Right.
before that
Yeah.
kicked in.
And I think that's one of the challenges, because yes, you want a great singer, but performance arts is exactly that, performing.
Right.
And there's just something about the way somebody delivers the music that they carry in their hearts, that makes you like them, that makes you want to listen and tune in and feel the emotions. How do you get amateur singers, and they're all amateurs when they come to that stage, to understand that?
It's hard, let me tell you, because some people come and they are told by their families that they can
Yes,
sing,
ma'am.
they have a
Yeah.
voice, and they're good. And no matter what we say, they don't listen to us. Or they have a voice coach. They have their voice coach. And so what we're seeing, you could be so much better, but they close themselves off. And that's frustrating.
Yeah.
That's really frustrating.
Yeah.
And-
Is it easy to build a performer? Is it easier to build a singer or build a performer?
For me, I think it's easier. It depends on the personality of the person, the
Okay.
individual. Because there are some personalities who are easy to build on, and the performance aspect is
Yeah.
easy to work with, while there are others who are not. And then, like Jenny was saying, there are the others who have problems with the singing, but just don't want to listen to what you have to say. One of the things that performers need to understand is that the performing arts is a means of communication. And if you are not communicating clearly, then it defeats the purpose of the whole communication process. And if they see it as such, then they're able to change it easier. They see it as, oh, it's just like when I'm speaking to my mom or my dad. I need to get this message across in the best way possible, in the way that will affect them most.
Yeah.
Like, if I can get personal, this must affect you, because when you as a professional, you've experienced it both, say, listen, I think you were missing your note and I think you were flat. And then the crowd goes behind you. How does it affect you personally? Because I've seen where in society, I've seen where somebody who I know is not that way, because of all the slack that they take from the audience, people have a perception. Anne-Marie took amazing slack for just being flat out honest. How do you balance between, I have to go to my car after this and go to the grocery store, between telling someone that they really need to hear, probably in a way that they will not accept it anyway? So you're losing all around. You're losing with the audience, you're losing with the person who wants to accept it, and you're trying to balance it out, so you're losing with yourself, so you're not being completely honest with what they need to hear. How does that affect you personally as a judge? I would hate to be a judge.
I try. Well, regardless of the situation, I still try as hard as possible to get the message across to the performer, so what they can do to make their performance better. And sometimes it's hard because you hear them, saying some very negative
You
things.
actually
Right?
hear
Yes,
them.
you hear them,
Yeah.
and they're right
Like, in
behind
the
you.
audience.
Yeah,
Yes,
right.
that's what people don't know, because
Yes.
you can't hear it on the TV.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right?
So sometimes when I
Realize.
see that pause, I was just like, when you're delivering your comments and you pause, I'm just trying to imagine, man,
What are they saying?
about that?
Yes, and so, but in the end, like I said, the most important thing is getting the performer to do better next time.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of zone out the audience a little bit.
For me, the performer, you keep saying to, for example, you keep saying to them, diction. You have to pronounce your vowels and your consonants so that people understand what you're saying. A big part of singing is the message in the song, right? And you can emote that, but people have to understand what you're. And it's like it really gets frustrating, or they get angry when you have to say something that's not like a 10. Or people come up to us and they go, "Why didn't I get a 10?" Because you didn't give a 10 performance.
Well, to be honest, but there's so many dynamics to it though, because what you mentioned with the audience is important.
Yeah.
There's a recognition that you are on television, which means people are watching everywhere, and we know that there's Facebook commentary going as well. So if I get on stage, I'm thinking of who's watching on TV, who's watching on social media, who's commenting on what they're saying. The judges are in front of me, ready to critique my entire performance, and I also have these dead stares in front of me from the audience as well. I'm either gonna win them or lose, God forbid, lose them. It's a lot for one performer, especially in a context like Belize. What have you found to be some of the ways that the performers who can overcome all of these issues and still be able to represent themselves properly on stage? What's the winning ingredient there?
I think the winning ingredient has been preparation. Those who have been prepared do well, and you can tell from the get-go, as soon as they get on stage and sing their first note, you can tell who prepared and who didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, people have gone up and you realize that they didn't study the words, and so they have to be looking on the screen more than normal, and they make a mistake with the words and look away and all of that.
Yeah.
So the ones who are prepared. The ones who are prepared are way more comfortable and are able to deliver a better product than the ones who are not.
Also, warm-ups before they come on stage. You can tell who comes on stage and they have not warmed up, and the ones who have gone back there and warmed their voices up. And no matter, every week we will walk in the back and we go, "Are you warming up? Warm up before you go on stage." And you'll hear the ones who start warming up, and you'll see the ones who come on stage that hadn't warmed up.
Are we moving away from the fun aspect of it? You're Jamaican,
Right.
yes, and so I have my wife is Jamaican, and I have a lot of Jamaican friends. And when they heard what Karaoke TV is, and I compared to the Sprite Challenge, I believe it's in Jamaica, they said these guys wouldn't even be in the lobby.
Well,
so are we moving away from the fun aspect of it?
No, I don't.
The entertaining side of it.
I don't think so. And whereas that might be true, it's two different situations. We are
Population size alone.
Yes, I mean, and we have to work with
Talent are the same, though.
Yeah.
No, but
Yes,
the
but
pool
we
is
have to.
different,
The pool is
your
different,
population.
and
different.
where we are is different from where Jamaica is. We have to work with what we have in Belize right now.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense throwing your hands up in the air and saying, "Oh, the competition in Jamaica is better, so we're just not going to do anything."
Yeah.
No, we just have to work at it until we get there.
Yeah.
And Belize has great talent, as great talent as there is in Jamaica.
Or even
it's
better.
Yes, or even better. But the problem is that we haven't had the exposure, we haven't had the experiences that they have had, we haven't had enough music teachers or enough music programs in the school, enough
Outlets.
musical experiences
Yeah.
and outlets over the years.
Yeah.
It's not
or
that
even
Belize
the
is any
Belizean
less.
support. This is one of the few areas where Belizeans show their support behind the singer. But then when any one of these winners become a headliner at a concert in
Right.
Belize,
Right.
Yeah.
you put a cover charge on there and
Yes.
you hear something else. So it is a challenge, but that's why we take advantage of the opportunity. For 2 months, about a month and a half really, people are talking about Belizean singers and picking their favorite and arguing over them and who should stay and who should go. And you guys are very influential in that as well.
You think so?
That was my question, actually.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, that's my question. Do you feel that your input actually affects who likes? Because likability is one thing or the next. Do you think you actually swing the balance somewhere or the next?
I don't think
I don't
so.
think so. Personally, I don't think so.
Judges' score is a percentage of the overall score, so their scores matter. Yeah. So tell us, you guys were a part of the auditions, and what's season 3 looking like?
There's a few good singers, really
some
good
bright
singers.
sparks in
There's some returnees
Uh-huh.
that are good, and if they listen, they can become really, really good.
Yeah.
There's also a variety of voices.
Yeah.
There's a wide range of,
Yeah.
Do you
Voices
see
that I see.
performance-ready people yet?
Yeah.
Normally we don't see that much in the auditions. Yeah, people come out of their shells at the first performance,
Yeah.
going on,
So no personalities as it? No,
No, you don't really,
chocolate, no sexual charming, what's the name of the guy?
Hano.
No Hano, no. You don't see any of those in the making? Because
There are a couple of unique ones.
for me, the entertainment aspect of it is why I sit in front of the television.
Yes.
See, we
That's
would
important.
love for them to come out and actually entertain. Not just come out and sing. Dress the part. When you're coming out on stage, dress the part. If you're singing a song, dress the part.
Yeah, develop the personality of the
Right.
song as
Exactly.
well. Like when they do country, I love it. It was country and disco, where I really saw that people were
Yeah, they
able
went all
to
out.
take
Yes,
on the personality of the song that they were doing. Remember?
they got into character.
Yeah, remember Lillian with her sequin dress and puffed out hair. So all of these things we see. Is there any genre that you really, really wish they're able to perform this year? Because we know we got the wheel that they spin and
I think they have reggae in there.
yeah.
That's something I'm looking
You
for.
are? Oh, you're going to be a tough judge for that
Not necessarily. I just want to hear it.
one. Yeah. And what about you, Jen?
I love when they have the Belizean. But I wish they would go and do some classic Belizean, Hannah went out and he got Lord Rayburn. I would love for them to get some
remember.
classic Belizean stuff.
Yeah.
I love the new artists, but I think the Belizean, we need to revive the old Belizean stuff, and there's so much of it.
Yeah. That's true. I remember a lot of Denise Castillo and Tanya Carter were great singers.
Yes, they are.
But still, yeah. Okay.
Revive. I'd love to see them revive.
So reggae,
and bring back.
Belizean.
Yeah.
How many people do you think, as a judge sitting there, how many people do you think come in just for the love of it? And how many people come in to say, man, $10,000? Really want to help out much people
I don't know. I don't have any idea.
And there's no way of telling who comes in there just with a genuine love. Because I think those people don't take criticism as well. Because if I'm going there thinking this is my craft, this is something that I do well, I'm actually putting, like an artist, putting something that is dear to you out there. Then when it's criticized, good or bad, in front of everyone, you cannot take the criticism, the critique a little bit different. Someone says, if you tell me for wear one hat, forget 10,000, I want to wear 10 hats. So there must be a difference between who comes.
And I actually think it's the reverse. Yes.
Wow, okay.
I think the people who come there as, really as craftsmen in the area are more aware of the fact that they need to improve. Those who probably come for the money would be more desperate.
Yeah.
Yes, that's how I
How
feel.
many of them think you think come in because they recognize the opportunity to make themselves known?
I didn't see any this year. I don't think. Did you?
I don't. I think usually for comments like that, I wait until the first performance. But I think I've seen a few like that.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 or 3 of them that I feel are coming to get into the business.
Yeah.
They want people to recognize them. And
So we're gonna have a great season this year.
almost definitely.
Before we go there, I really would like us to talk a little bit just about what happens on social media, because I really believe that the behavior of some of the people on social media will cause people to not want to come and come perform. It's like you said, they're coming here to have fun and hopefully win $10,000, right?
Yeah.
But why can't people be more kind? The comments that are made on social media are, somebody called it thumb thugs.
Thumb thugs.
Thugs. Because because it's like one person makes a negative comment and then the rest of them jump on it. It's a mob. They become a mob. Right? And you know, we talk about the mob scene, and when you get one person jumping on, then everybody jumps on and they start just like hammering one of the singers, and these people go home and they read these things. Their families are at home reading it, and what it does to their psyche. And I think when they sit there with their phones and just make the bullying comments, because those are bullies. Who does that? Who do that kind of thing? They're bullies. We'll call it out for what it is, instead of enjoying the show and encourage the folks, right? You're not voting for them anyway. So why try to, my parents used to say, and my mom said this all the time, if you can't say something good, don't say nothing, shut your mouth, right? And I really believe that we need to go back to some of those values and have people come out and enjoy their craft, enjoy performing. We get to enjoy Tuesday nights, because I love Tuesday nights. I enjoy having folks come out.
There are a lot of people excited about the show, and I think we really underestimate how much people look forward to the entertainment aspect and even just kind of rallying around a favorite singer. We do echo your words, and in fact every year we try to encourage people to lay off all the bullying online, and hopefully things will be a bit different this time around. But nonetheless, we are looking forward to season 3. Next week Tuesday you'll be live at the Belize. And there'll be a third judge too, right?
Oh yes, there'll be a third
mystery judge.
A mystery judge?
A mystery.
Don't ask her, we don't know either.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Well, we will look forward to see who that is. Thank you so much for coming in and giving us the scoop behind the scenes of KTV The Remix. All right, we're going to go ahead and take a break, and when we come back, we'll be joined by the president of the Belize Hotel Association. So please stay tuned.